Hello and welcome to Mr. Davis' classroom. Today we're in Algebra 1, Lesson 7.5, and we're doing 7.5 in one day. We're talking about division properties of exponents. We've done some multiplication, now we're going to do some division. So, after you try the warm-up, let's get started. So division is pretty much the exact opposite of multiplication, right? So when we did multiplication with like basis, we added the exponents. Right? If we're going to do division with like basis, we subtract the exponents. So here where we have 2 to the 6 over 2 to the second, we get 2 to the 6 minus 2, which is 2 to the 4th. Okay? So let's try a couple. All right, so right here we have a to the 8th over x to the 8th over x to the 3rd. All right? Well, I know that's going to be x to the 8 minus 3 or x to the 5th. Good. B has two different bases, so we're going to do them one at a time. So we have m to the set 2 minus 5, and we have n to the 4 minus 3. If I simplify each one of those, I get m to the negative 3rd, n to the 1st. But we don't like the negative exponent, so let's rewrite this as positive exponent on top, right? We're not moving that anywhere. And the negative one's going to go to the bottom, but still we're going to make it positive. All right. Here's 5 for you to try. Please try these. Refer to the previous problem or your notes if you need help. All right, here we're talking about population density is the number of people per unit area. So in 1 unit, the population of Angola was 1.21 times 10 to the 7th people. The area of Angola is 4.81 times 10 to the 5th miles squared. What is the population density of Angola? Well, what we want to do is we want population density describes people per unit area. And per we can think of as a divide sign. So it's people per area. Well, the people of Angola is 1.21 times 10 to the 7th. The area of Angola is 4.81 times 10 to the 5th. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break this problem down into two different parts, okay? The left and the right. The left part is just numbers, right? So we can just divide those. The right part is the exponents, where we need to do the division of exponents property, which is subtraction. So I'm going to do left part first, which is 1.21 divided by 4.81. So on the left side, we're going to get 0.251559. On the right side, when I divide these two bases, we subtract, so I get 10 times 10 to the 7 minus 5, which is 2. Now, we could write this in scientific notation, but if I look and I want to move the decimal places, this is a positive 2. That means I'm going to make this a bigger number. 1, 2. I get 25.1559, and this is, remember, people per area, right? So this is people per mile squared. Now, most population densities you see won't be that refined. They won't go all the way to the 9-digit. So let's do some rounding. We'll go ahead and say 25.2. And this is people per mile squared. All right. Let's talk about the next property, which is raising a quotient to a power. So if we have a fraction and we're going to raise it to a power, it's going to follow the same distributive rule that we did before. Okay, so here the n is going to go to the base of a, and the base of b. So it's going to go to both of them. And in the example here, you see that we get 3 to the third and 5 to the third, which ends up being 27 over 125. So let's try some of those. So this is a multiple choice problem. It says, what is the simplified form of z to the fourth over 5 and all of that raised to the third power? Well, let's figure it out. So it looks like that. The distributive property, our so-called distributive property, says 3 to the fourth. Well, when I raise the power to a power, it's multiply. So it gives me 12. Over 5 to the third power, which is 125. So if I look, it's not that one, it's not that one, it's not that one, it is D. All right. Here's one for you to try. And problem 4 wants us to simplify this one as well. Now, the difference here is we're raising it to a negative third power. So let's see how that changes things, okay? So again, the distributive property says that we need to put that negative 3 everywhere. So we're going to have 2 to the negative 3, x to the negative 18, right? Multiplication. And y to the negative 12. Well, this doesn't look good because we have lots of negative signs. Well, what does the negative sign tell us to do? It tells us to flip it over on the fraction. So this y, right, this y has become a positive, we're going to have to put on the top. The x to the negative 18 to make that positive, we have to put it on the bottom. And 2 to the third, we're even going to put on the bottom and make that positive. Now the only thing that we can do to simplify this is 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8 x to the 18. So a negative exponent on the outside of a fraction seems like it flips the whole fraction over. All right, very good. Here's one for you to try. And your homework assignment. Thank you for visiting Mr. Davis's classroom. I hope you enjoyed.